Hey brothers and sisters, this is continuing on for my testimony, video 5. Can you believe it? I do talk a lot, but I have a lot to say because there's a lot of stuff that had happened to me. But I'm almost done. Just bear with me if you really are interested. There's a little bit more to the end. So this is 5, continuing on. So after I moved out with Justin and met him on Seeking Arrangements, I was living with him for a while, and I met him. I don't want to make it too long because we're already at video 5. So I met him, and he was like, and he reminded me of Joey, and then it turns out he had a car just like Joey, and he had like 4 cars in the parking lot. Like, he had one that looked like Jay's, one that looked like Joey's, and then this one that looked like Jacob Mason's, and then his red truck. And then he said he got this red truck from his ex-girlfriend, and it was just really weird to me. I thought that stuff was just completely bizarre, but I lived with him and I moved out with him, and he didn't want me to at first, but I did because I just wanted to get away from my dad. That was another thing, and I did kind of like him. And then, so I moved out, and then, things were really good. Like, I can tell you that would probably, if I didn't find out certain things, that relationship probably would have lasted, but I found out certain things that were going on, and I can thank God that he saved my life, because they were going to kill me. So let me just finish. This is the twist to this. So I was with Justin, and my dad had even said in the beginning, he's like, you're gonna die if you continue to stay here, and I didn't really understand it all. Well, he's like, there's so much sex trafficking here, and so I was in staying with Justin for a while, and he was so nice to me, like any girl would love. Like, I liked him. Like, I thought he was attractive, but like other people were making fun of me, like, he's fat, like, why are you with him? But I thought he was really sweet, and I look at the personality and the spirit, and so I thought he was really sweet. He was getting me ice cream, taking me out to eat, buying me stuff. Like, he was really nice to me, and like I got ultimately to what I wanted. Like, he worked from home from his computer at IBM, and he was just really, and IBM, by the way, is a mind control program. I'll get into that, but he was really sweet, and he was getting me everything I wanted, and it even says the devil comes to you as an angel of light, as everything you want, not everything you don't want. And so at the same time, like, I didn't understand, and I still don't get certain things, but it was just like I didn't have to work, but I wanted to work. I started getting upset. Like, I was like, I want a job. He's like, I don't want you to flirt with other guys. I'm like, I'm not flirting with other guys. Like, he was insecure about that. I was like, I just want to work because I like working. I like being social. I like being out, and I want to make money. And he didn't want me to, so he started pulling these things, but at the same time, it was like it was a whole plot. And so, okay. And so, during the whole process, I was living there. Things were good, but at the same time, I wanted to work. And I met his mom, and she was really sweet. And it just seems like, it's sad thinking about it, because it seems like it was too good to be true. And I do kind of feel bad a lot of the time, because it was too good to be true. And the whole time, many people don't really understand, and a lot of people think I'm insane, but they do have microchips out there, and they chip people. And I had even tested it when I came back, and I'll tell you in a minute. I think they chipped me or did something, because he was using IBM mind control, and that's the whole agenda. Like, you don't see it from the surface value, which is what Satan wants you to think. The surface value, it goes deeper. Things go deeper, and they were really doing things. And when you sign a paper and you think you're seeing it for what it is, it's for more. Like, they're hiding it. Like, it's all hidden, concealed. There's a lot of truth to what's going on, but when you look at something, you're not seeing it for what it is sometimes. Like, it's for more. Like, they're hiding these things from us, and God's revealed that. And so when I was like living with him, like, things seemed good, but they weren't. It wasn't what it appeared to be. And so I was sleeping one night, and all of a sudden, like, he would go on these trips to go out of town, saying he goes to these gun shows and stuff, but it's not what you think it is. Like, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. And like one time he went away, I was like staying at his house, and he had these cameras all over the house. Like, I was like, why do you have cameras? He's like, because I had this situation where there's the girl and she pulled a gun on me and she showed up at my house. Like that, there's little things, even about a lady named Jennifer. Like, he said the reason they broke up was because she lied to him about being on vacation and she didn't want to have kids, and he thought she wanted to have kids. And then the 20-year-old that he was dating, Haley, that was really weird. He said because she was abused, he had to drive her to South Carolina. And honestly, I honestly feel like they were driven into sex trafficking, like, you know, and they're stuck. And I don't want to put them out there to get punished even more. Like, I try to keep it minimal, but it's time. Like, Jesus is coming soon, and he's giving me the words, and I'm just trying my best to put this out there because I was saved from that, and I know this. And so, and even going back to Jay, the fallen angel, and the whole situation escapade with looking at their online, and all of the names were in order, and they were all from different countries. Like, didn't make sense. And so anyway, I was living there, where was I at? And so he was on a trip, and I was sleeping, and all of a sudden I feel like something really weird. I'm like but I'm like dreaming. I'm like asleep, passed out, dreaming, and like I felt like these angels, like fallen angels, were having sex with me while I was sleeping. I was like, I knew it, like I could feel it. And all of a sudden in my dream, like it was like a conscious thing, like I knew, like I saw. I know, I don't know if it makes sense to you all, but it was I'm telling you, 100% legit. I saw Jesus come up and have a light out of his hand, and a hole in his hand, and a light, and it was shining, and it was too bright for them to see, and they had to leave. And immediately I woke up, and I was like, Jesus, Jesus, and I was praying, like these fallen angels were, and I knew, because I was like, Justin, there's when he came back from his trip, I was like, there's people in the other room, like I hear the noises, like I hear them making noises and opening the fridge and stuff. He's like, you're insane, like and he called me schizophrenic, but this stuff is actually legitimate, and they just don't want you to know. And it was just really weird. And so when he comes back, like I start telling him, he just tries to make it look like it's phony. He tries to blow it off, try to make me look like I'm crazy. But that's exactly what Satan wants. He doesn't want you to know the truth, because the truth will set you free if you're in Christ Jesus. And so like things were good, but then I think it was I'll just tell you, finally, up until he said he's going, it was on September 23rd, and I was freaking out because everybody was saying the world is going to end on September 23rd, and I didn't really think that completely. I just thought something was going to happen, that Jesus was allowing something to happen, because it was alignment with the biblical calendar. It was September 23rd, 2018, not 17. And so I went with him on his trip to the gun show, and he was like, I was like, never seen one before. So I was like, okay, I'll go with you to Tennessee. And so we went to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and so I was driving with him in his truck, and I slept a lot of the way, and then all of a sudden I woke up and I started telling him I had this dream, 2 dreams. I had this dream of this girl, and she was on the battlefield, and all of these angels and people were behind her, but they were in spirit form, but then they appeared to be in physical form. And she was there, and she had a knife, or a sword, and she comes up, and then on the other side of it was like a split in half field, and on the other side there were all these evil goblin demon creatures, just kind of like in Narnia. And this was my dream, and they were over here, and it was kind of like Peter, like me as Peter, like Peter. And like it was I'm telling you 100%, this was my dream. And they were all over there, and all of a sudden this girl comes up to me, this little girl, and she has blonde hair, and she says, this is my real color, it's brown. Not everything is as it appears to be, literally and not literally. And she tells me, my name's Emily, I'm your sister, I'm the one that was aborted. I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't know I had another sister. She's like, it's more than meets the eye, but you had a mom. My real name is Emily, or the name they gave me. I think that's what she said. I don't know. Maybe not, or what they were thinking of. But what she was telling me was in my dream. All I know is my name is Emily, and I'm your sister, and I was your half sister. I would have been your half sister on earth, but I'm your sister in Christ, your full blood sister. And she said, my mom is Leslie. And it was just really weird. She's like, you can do this. You are the queen. And like, she was telling me all this stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about? This was in my dream. And she's like, you got this. And I was like, I'm really scared. I'm shaking. Like, I don't know if I can do this. She's like, you are the bride. You can do all things through your king. And all of a sudden, I come up to the field, and they have all these swords and everything, and I have but one sword in my hand. Kind of like David and Goliath. And he knew God's power. And I took the sword and I threw it down, and I was just standing there praying. And all of a sudden they throw things, and the one tries to cut my head off, and I was like, in the mighty name of Jesus. And all of a sudden we are raptured up to heaven. Like, I'm raptured up with all of them, but I can't remember the rest of the dream. The rest of the dream was like, he within me is greater than he who is in the world, and all of a sudden they all are knocked out, like by God's power. That was one of the dreams when I was waking up in Justin's car and we were on the way. And then I had another dream before that. I think it was a night before, of Michael the archangel coming to his door, and he had blonde curly hair, and he said, and I answer it, and he's like, we gotta go. Time's running out. You don't understand. I was like, where's Justin? Isn't he coming back? He went to go get a steak with his mom. And because he used to go out to eat, Justin used to go out to eat. In my dream, this was in my dream, and Michael said, not everything is as it appears to be. Just trust me and take my hand. And that was the dream, and I woke up, and I told Justin that, and I should not have. But when I told him, he's like, I was thinking about it, and I think you should come with me to the show this weekend, because you've never seen a show. So I was like, okay, and then we went on, and we were driving, and when he was driving, and I started telling him the stuff, and he looked like he was getting mad, like when I was telling him the stuff. And I didn't really realize that. I look in front of me, and there's a truck, and there's 3 lights on the truck, and they light up 333. And in my mind, I was like, is that because I recently saw a thing of Mary and how she had the crown of 333, and it was 9. It was like holy number. Is that me? But it wasn't. It was a warning from God, and now I realized it later on. 666 333. Like God was warning me. You need to get out. You need to go get out. You need to get out now. And Justin had, I don't know if he's all involved in this like completely, but I feel like he was. And so he had I guess he called his stepdad Larry, and I think he was the center core of what was going on. Larry and his father, his real father Johnny, and we were all eating at Carrabba's. And my dad, he would be like, why are you with these weirdos? And I'm like, I was really blinded, and I also wasn't trying to judge them. But so I was sitting there, and we were eating, and all of a sudden Johnny was the first to say it. He said, she doesn't know what she's in for tonight, does she? And then Larry said, yeah, there's a lot of reckless drivers, and I know their expressions because I remember. And then Justin looked really pissed off. He's like, no. He's like, yeah, she doesn't. And then I thought, they're just joking, like being silly, but it did seem weird because Justin knew certain things bothered me, and to know that he would do something like that, like it just shows right then and there that, there's something not right. That's my doggy, by the way. But something not right because he's not telling me all the facts, and he's still doing things to aggravate me. Like that, it's not love. And that shouldn't be someone who cares about you if they're doing things to constantly bother you when you've told them not to. And so I was just sitting there and just thinking for a second. I look around and I look at their expressions, and they don't look like they're playing. So I said, Justin, I need to go to the bathroom. He's like, okay. So I get up, and I go to the bathroom, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there in the bathroom. I don't really have to go, but I'm just trying to think about what I need to do because I'm in a totally another state. My family is in Georgia, and all of a sudden a lady walks. I pray first, and then the lady walks in the bathroom, and I go to her, and I was like, she was a waitress. I was like, I need help. I think I'm in danger. I don't know what to think of it, but I know I'm in danger. And so she gets the manager to come in, and they call the police, and the police seemed a little weird too. They were like, oh, well, but didn't you need to go to a hospital, because didn't you just say he's a fallen angel? And I'm trying to keep this to myself, but I know my experiences. And so Kipper, okay, so I know my experiences and all the stuff. This is my doggy baby, he's so cute. Okay, so I know my experiences, and no, and so what happened was, with all the stuff that was going on, I, looked at these cops, and I was like, they're not on my side. And so I said, to them, I'm not crazy, like, this stuff isn't true. Sit. No, sit. And I'm like, I know I'm not crazy. And I tell the cops, and they are still saying, didn't you just say that? And then Justin comes in, and immediately he's like, what is she doing? And he says, she's schizophrenic. And immediately I knew he was behind it, because for someone to say that about someone they care about and love, and they know that you're not, and they're just trying to hide something, they're hiding something. And so they give me my stuff, and I'm like, I don't need to go to the hospital, I'm not crazy. Kipper, no. I'm gonna cut this short really quick. Gotta give him his food, and I'm gonna come back and give you the next video, which will be 6.